Being completely incapable of competing on a fair playing field, the establishment is once again doubling down on their attacks of all things Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. As more and more individual and institutional investors lose their faith in the current monetary system, they're flocking to Bitcoin, driving it to new all-time highs of over 60,000 US dollars. Even billionaires like Elon Musk are getting into the action with billion-dollar investments and promises to accept crypto payments on their new Tesla cars. But the old guard knows competition between their antiquated banking systems and technology-driven Bitcoin is near impossible. And the thought of losing control of their loyal subjects makes them shake in their boots. So they're doubling down, trying to scare people from their clearly superior rival. Welcome back to Renegade News. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe and notification button, and let's get right into the news. On a March 24th interview with Yahoo News, billionaire investor Ray Dalio said that he expected the US government to outright ban Bitcoin. While Dalio agrees Bitcoin has proven itself over the last 10 years, the government doesn't like competition. In his new book, The Changing World Order, he writes that the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 made it illegal for individuals to own gold because government leaders didn't want gold to compete with money and credit as a storehold of wealth. According to him, every country treasures its monopoly on controlling the supply and demand. They don't want other monies operating or competing because things can get out of control. So I think that it would be very likely that you will have it under a certain set of circumstances outlawed the way that gold was outlawed. Of course, rumor of Bitcoin being outlawed is nothing new. In December, rumors were circulating saying that self-custody wallets could become illegal. In a Twitter thread, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said that his firm heard rumors about the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin's plans to introduce fresh rules for self-custody wallets by the end of his term. Realistic or not, 4 U.S. congressmen believed it serious enough to send letters to Mnuchin, urging him not to go down that road. In a tweet from Warren Davidson, he said, "I'm troubled that rumors that Steven Mnuchin plans to enact burdensome regulations on digital self-hosted wallets. My colleagues, Rep. Tom Emmer, Rep. Ted Bund, and Rep. Scott Perry have sent a letter to U.S. Treasury urging him to rethink these and to consult with Congress on fintech." Watching these globalist dinosaurs flailing around in areas they clearly don't understand is frightening given the power that they hold in their grimy little fingers. Back in January, Janet Yellen harped that cryptocurrencies should be stopped in their tracks because they're mainly used in crime. She said cryptocurrencies are a particular concern. I think many are used, at least in a transaction sense, mainly for illicit financing. And I think we really need to examine ways in which we can curtail their use and make sure that money laundering doesn't occur through these channels. Stanford University backs up Yellen, citing 3 reasons Bitcoin should be made illegal, including tax evasion, black markets, and money laundering. But this is a bullshit justification when banks hold a clear monopoly on all those illegal activities. According to the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, global banks defy U.S. crackdowns by serving oligarchs, criminals, and terrorists. Their report says documents identify more than $2 trillion in transactions between 1999 and 2017 that were flagged by financial institutions' internal compliance officers as possible money laundering and other criminal activity, including $514 billion at JP Morgan and $1.3 trillion at Deutsche Bank. But they let them happen anyway. That amount eclipses any illegal activities made in Bitcoin by several multitudes. After all, why do illegal activities in Bitcoin when doing it with cash or through the corrupt banking system is so much easier? Unfortunately, enforcement of cryptocurrency crimes is also escalating. In 5 coordinated early morning raids on March 16th by the FBI in New Hampshire, 6 people known as the Crypto Six were arrested on suspicion of operating an unlicensed cryptocurrency exchange business. The arrested include Ian Freeman, a man who identifies as nobody, and Aria Damasio, as well as 3 others. Some of these 6 are also facing wire fraud, money laundering, and financial crimes charges. What is particularly alarming about these raids, though, isn't the charges. It's the severity of the raids and the media coverage of them. People viewing images from the raid would think that the FBI cornered a cult of mass murderers, not someone who got paid a few fees to provide a necessary service of exchanging Bitcoin into dollars or vice versa. But then again, what would you expect from a media who thinks that fiat currency is flat currency?
According to an indictment, the alleged suspects have run a business since 2016 that allowed customers to exchange flat currency for virtual currency and charged a fee for the service.
Flat currency for virtual currency.
According to Ian Freeman's girlfriend, Bonnie Cruz, the government stole my boyfriend, and the Keene Police Department should not have agreed to work with the FBI on trumped-up, dumb-ass charges. She says she was handcuffed and detained for more than an hour during the raid. And they made me walk in glass, and they made me put on shoes with glass in them. According to Chris Wade, a blogger and protester for Free Keene, the charges are bogus, and he stated that there was at least one part of it that was entirely fabricated. This brings back flashbacks of Ross Ulbricht, who was given 2 life sentences plus 40 years without parole for building a classified website that accepted cryptocurrency payments. There is some light at the end of the tunnel, though, for those of us who care about freedom and liberty. Remember back when the government tried to block file sharing? According to Slayerment.com, they made file sharing illegal. That didn't stop anyone. People still do the file sharing because file sharing is a new business model. File sharing allows content producers to get their content distributed throughout the world for free. Now what we call file sharing of music is done in the form of YouTube and other social apps. In addition, not all governments see eye to eye. And if the US makes cryptocurrency illegal, another country is sure to step in and fill up the void. Just like businesses compete for our capital, so do the governments. So there will always be countries where you can safely own, trade, and profit from Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And that is just one more reason it's more important than ever to always have a plan B. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click the link in the description and subscribe right now so that every week you get the inside scoop on the latest infringements and wins in your fight for freedom and liberty. If you enjoyed this edition of the Renegade News, please hit the like and the share buttons. We would really appreciate it.